Death Watch.
Okay, so you guys had went and rented two different in one of the Slothful Tom and the other somewhere else.
More upscale in, or is the Slothful Tom the upscale one?
No, Slothful Tom is pretty far from upscale.
Okay.
And who was staying? Was it Cho'Gath and Adina were staying in the Slothful Tom?
Well, the idea was that the upscale one was bait, right? That's where we would publicly kind of be staying, and the Slothful Tom is the fake one, or the real one.
The real one.
Yeah, in case the Black Aja attacks, they're going to burn up a bunch of rich people, I guess.
Okay.
But I believe currently me and Cho'Gath are currently at the rich one, while these two try to make the use of the rest of the daylight to
resupply.
Yeah.
Okay. So, did you guys get a chance to do that resupply yet?
No.
What all were you looking for?
Yes.
That's a good question, actually.
And as long as it's fairly common, then and you shouldn't have much problem finding it.
Yeah, I think for my part, I was just looking at bringing the rations and the normal amount of feed we carry up to its standard level, and then arrows.
See about a bag of holding.
And a bag of holding.
Couldn't we technically use an alternate dimension? Like a portal stone? What about the World of Dreams?
Could.
Yeah. Let's put all our stuff in the World of Dreams.
You could get in there physically.
Who's the Dreamwalker?
Right now, it's getting close to him.
Yeah. I don't think
go in there physically yet.
I think accidentally.
Yeah.
I don't think I understand it or control it.
Yeah, you just have the latent feat at this point.
Yeah.
The right one.
Game Master's special.
We could use one of the towers. There was a Tower of Genji.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can carry that around with us.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, you guys would be able to resupply fairly easily for common items. Is there anything special that you wanted to look for?
Nothing that I am aware of.
Didn't we have some stuff we needed to sell?
Oh, yeah.
I've got some large gems and some other stuff that we got in Jerichopen.
Yeah, I got 15 gems. 15 gems to sell.
Okay.
Did we have it? Was somebody keeping track of what we had on mule? Do we still have our mule?
Yeah, we still have it.
You still got all your horses and pack horses.
Yeah, I had... where is it? There was 10 days of feed still on the mule.
That's probably good. Leave that alone.
Oh, what? We got 6 horses? In the mule?
Is that was... When we counted it as for all of our animals.
I wrote it as 10 days for every animal.
What rations were left on there? Because I know I was wiped out from the Cairhein waterways.
And I don't carry any.
Well, we had I can't remember how many we have left.
I think if I remember right, I think we were actually maybe not eating the last day or so.
Oh, I still had...
Did you?
rations
You were holding
left.
out. I was like, because I have this little list where I'm like out of rations for like 2 days, and you were just over there.
Why are you gaining weight, Falk?
Yeah, I've still got 20 rations left after whatever's left in...
You're like that weird guy in the apocalypse that stays fat the whole time. And you're like, how is he doing
I
it?
like the idea that he doesn't tell you, and like one day you have to down your horse and you're eating it, and you're just sitting there munching on a ration behind your back.
And I kill him for his tin of peanut butter. All right. Well, I'll just get like 50 rations.
I think we'd used all the rations on the mule.
We'll get 50,
right.
50 rations.
50? Yeah.
And then I need to sell 15 gems.
Then I'll mark off 10 of my rations as
Okay,
food for us for those last 2 days.
were you guys gonna look at selling any of the other items or just the gems for right now?
Just the gems. That's all that I had. I wrote down a great serpent ring, but I don't feel like that would have stayed in my inventory.
Okay.
And I've got a heavy gold bracelet. I think Adina did her 1 power check on it.
Yeah, a heavy gold bracelet encrusted with gemstones.
Yeah, and then 2 large gems.
So that's a large green gem, which I'm sure that you've seen an emerald before. And okay, so you can trade. Let me ask you this: do you want to trade with Cairhein or an IEL? There are some that are looking to. They don't have any rations, but they're more than happy to trade a couple of things with you.
Do they have gold?
I think they're more of a barter.
Yeah, it's
right?
more of a barter system. So if there's any goods that you guys would want to try and get, you might be able to. But your gems, Rafe, go ahead and do a gem selling skill.
Appraisal.
Yeah, go ahead and do
Diplomacy.
your appraise. Is the city, even though there's IEL everywhere and it's pretty burnt down, and the Dragon Reborn is here, is actually not doing too bad economically right now.
I got a 14.
14? Okay. So yeah, you'll find someone that can that will buy your gem or your gems for 25 marks each, which is, by your guesstimate, a fair price.
Okay.
Did you want to try and sell your bracelet as well?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and do yours on appraise as well.
Praise. Intelligence. Oh, that's not good. 7.
Did you want to assist or...
I'd want to take him with me because
Yeah.
I don't know what this stuff is worth. And then did you count the 2 big gems I had as
No, not as
at the
part as
same
his.
at the same price?
So the bracelet and the gems, the 2 gems that you have are going to be they're not going to be exactly the same price, but if you want to sell your emerald or your large gems as part of his original check, you can get 160 marks each for those
Okay.
2 gems. But the guy says that he wouldn't be able to. The first guy that you guys sold the gems at said he wouldn't be able to afford a circlet or the bracelet that you have.
Okay, we can try and find someone else.
Because he will direct you to a couple other places
Okay.
you can check out. Do you want to do an appraise check for that bracelet?
Sure. Dark One's own luck.
Okay.
17.
All right. So you figure you should be able to get anywhere from 450 to 50 or 500 marks out of it.
Okay.
So, and you can find
Haggle it.
do you want it?
Yeah, I'll give you 50 crowns for it.
Or no, 450 or 500.
Marks.
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 I
Yeah.
said
Oh,
crowns.
okay, sorry. Misheard you.
I just need 23 more.
Why? What do you want to buy?
Mail for my horse.
That's going to be $5, and you got to.
Well, for my
Yeah.
for my gems, everybody
gotta
gets
find it.
9 gold crowns.
Well, I have 14 gems. Can you sell those too?
Yeah,
Those would be 25 marks a piece as well.
same thing. 14.
Yeah.
So, how much you want for the bracelet, Justin?
Is your ring
Honestly, I'd figure with all
was...
the
I don't think that was
ends
a
that you
serpent
paid
ring.
for, I'd just give it
Was
to
it?
you.
It said
I haven't paid for that many ends.
Did you
gold
take it off?
great serpent ring.
I'll give
Oh.
you 40 for it.
Well, I'll
But
give it
like
to
I
you.
said, it might
You
have-
can pay
Made
Cho'Gath
its
some
way
back
through
for the
the
rooms.
gems, huh?
All right, so add 40 crowns to your
Did
money there, Cho'Gath.
what else did you guys want to try and sell? I know that there was quite a bit.
There was a ceremonial dagger inlaid with gold.
Would be 550 marks at the place that you would have sold your bracelet at if Adina hadn't have bought it.
How much?
550 marks for his dagger.
Okay.
55.
And wasn't there another one? Or were you guys keeping that one
I was keeping the one that
that you found?
didn't
was
find
the-
it. I believe somebody gave it to me. Didn't you
Yeah,
give me one?
I gave
Yeah.
him one.
And so
Because
there
I took the Heron Mark
yeah.
blade.
Well, should have been 2 swords that were found. Dale found one, and then you found that heron marked one,
Yeah.
and then there was a masterwork suit of mail.
Was it the full mail that I have?
Yeah. Okay. So that's
Yeah.
where that went, and then there were 3 loose gems with the masterpiece dagger with a gold and silver sheath. Who had those?
Rafe had the masterwork dagger.
Okay.
Or masterpiece.
Were
whichever
you
it
the one
was.
that found it though?
Yeah.
Okay, did you want to sell those 3 gems that you had with it?
Oh, I thought they were like set into it or something.
No, it's 3 loose gems.
Okay, yeah.
So, okay. Those are 200 marks each.
Okay.
I keep track of what's like kind of on me, and right now a whole section's just dedicated to jewelry.
Yeah, did you have the ring with the ruby?
Yeah,
Okay, and the silver comb and polished coral?
the silver comb. Yeah, hair comb.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to mark it down as special. What was it? Silver and coral.
Yeah. And then there's a silver and gold pendant that was studded with blue sapphires. Who had that? Is that you as well?
I don't see that on my list.
It was It was the same person who found the long sword.
Yeah, see, that's
That's
all these
Rafe.
guys. They go
Rafe.
rummaging.
I found the longsword.
So you should have the silver and gold pendant studded with sapphires as well.
Missed writing it down.
I also have voyages of the sea folk, among the sea folk.
Among the sea folk.
I'm not selling it though.
It gives
Okay.
you +2 to your
How
profession.
much for the gold pendant?
It's 1,050 marks.
I can't afford that. I can though. I'd have 1 crown left.
And who had the circlet with several gemstones? It was in the same area that had the masterwork full mail and the heavy bracelet. So
Would've been
probably
me.
you.
Yeah.
Did you want to sell that or do you want to keep it?
I'll sell it.
Enchant it.
1,100 marks. So this will take you guys the rest of the day to hawk the rest of that stuff. The innkeep can get you guys rations and everything put together.
Yeah,
And
I just
feed
bought
for
50
horses.
in arrow. Did you need arrows?
Mm-mm. I haven't used arrows in a long time.
And you can send out runners.
I have 98 arrows.
Yeah. Yeah, my character kind of took a turn away from the ranged.
Well, that's just until you get a shock lance, right?
No.
And I think
And then it'd be
that's
charged,
all of
hit
it.
them, and then shock.
There you go.
Did you
Did you
record?
say 15 or 17?
How else do you use a lance?
stones?
I had 15.
You should have had 17.
No,
So you have another 50 marks.
That's how warfare went in the Age of Legends.
Yeah.
They're flying cars. They would joust each other with shock lances.
That'd be pretty awesome to see, man.
That's kind of how they do it now.
Yeah.
I'd imagine that you have
shooting.
a driver and, yeah.
I think it's a little different.
Yeah, a little.
Little.
Did you record your 35 gold crowns from your gems?
Oh, I wrote it as marks.
Right.
But yeah.
And was there any other loot that you had wanted to?
Yeah, I want to sell this
sell?
Heron Mark sword.
Oh, yes. Someone would gladly take you up on the offer.
How much do you want to sell it?
No, I'm
for?
just kidding. I'm not.
As you can get, you can get 8,000 marks for it.
Well, it's a power rot sword, so it's not Heron Mark. Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. I'm not using the heron mark anymore.
Yeah, who was you?
I'm
You
using
gave the
the
heron
power
mark to
rod.
someone else.
I didn't give it away. I kept
okay,
it.
you kept it.
You let Still walk around with it.
Actually, maybe I will let Dill walk around.
You're gonna get that boy killed, man. He's an
No,
archer, not a swordsman.
I'm not selling it, even though I don't use it anymore.
Well,
Okay.
I feel like it's going to get a lot of challengers killed. No,
I'm gonna
killed.
try and I'm gonna have Vadina put a heron on it for me.
Well, you
though.
did have in that. I swear that
Yeah.
there was another heron mark sword that you guys had found too.
No, just the one, and then we found a masterwork longsword,
Okay.
which I also have.
The heron mark came from
From you
guy,
fighting the
first
blade
one.
master.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
well, you can take his sheath and put your new longsword in the heron mark sheath.
Yeah, but then that's like poser stuff right there, because then you pull it out and they're like, "What? No heron?"
Well, you just wear the
power
heron
rod.
mark at your side. As
I'll just wear
Yeah.
both swords.
exactly.
Yeah,
You are a borderlander.
Yeah.
I'm a Borderlander.
It
I'll
wouldn't
just say
be
I'm
out of the ordinary.
Kandorian. I'll put them on my back and I'll grow my hair out, put braids in it. Like a
Let
sissy.
Dill take some paint and paint a heron on it on the power row.
No, I think Adina should be able to put a heron on the blade. I just haven't asked her yet.
I don't think that it doesn't work like that, right?
Yes, it does.
I don't remember it happening
I
like
specifically remember it.
The heron Dill paints on it will have like cross eyes.
that.
It'll be a heron.
Oh,
And it'll
what
have
was it?
a bunch of arrows sticking in it.
Oh, in The Witcher 3, the banner that you paint for the troll.
Yeah.
Right. It comes out all weird and stupid looking. Yeah, that's the heron that you get. So it's like oversized. Its body is fatter
not
than
a
it
heron.
should be. It's not really.
It's a goose.
It's like it's a chicken.
If you defeat me in a sword fight, I'll let you have the heron marked blade, but only if I'm dead.
I'm not taking that.
Does it have to be to the
Well,
death?
do you have to be
Or just
awake when it
0.
starts?
Do you really think you could like coup de grace him hard enough?
I have 76 hit points.
If I
don't
power
think-
attacked with a charge in my lance,
So you gotta get the horse in the inn.
So you gotta like.
so
plug in
next
his
time we camp,
ears.
I'll just charge his sleeping body and power attack with everything I've got.
a giant horse thundering across
Yeah.
the ground, and I'm just
Oh, that might be a problem though, because I don't. It's like a 4-round action to coup de grace, right? I don't think you'd charge it.
that's true.
But if you could, how much damage would you do?
Let's see, times 4. Would you do the times 3 for the charge and then multiply the critical modifier? Or would you just?
Age-old question.
Yeah.
I say yes.
But I could add a +6 to each of those as a power attack with a +3 strength modifier. So +9 times 4 is 40. So I could get close to killing you in a single blow.
But not. And then which point Cho'Gath would stand up and nuke you.
No way,
As,
I'd run away.
as the dust settles, lance sticking out of him, he stands up.
Yeah.
Nice try, boy.
Yeah, gotcha. All right.
Falk rains down in tear as the winds blow his remains that way.
You know, if I've been thinking straight, I would have went into Wolf Brother. I purposely got madness so that I could convince myself that everybody was Trollocs, and then I'd get my improved critical from Trolloc Hunter
Nice.
on everybody. I go into Wolf Brother.
You could also go Channeler right now. You got a little bit of time for that Faint's Cleanse.
Although if he goes into Wolf Brother, he automatically gets like 66 points of madness.
Oh, because he doesn't have all the...
It goes real quick, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, and for those times we need you coherent, I have Cleanse, or whatever it is, heal the mind or whatever.
Okay, so you guys sell all your goods, and then you guys were going back to the Slothful Tom, or were you going to meet Adina and Cho'Gath at the fancy place?
If I remember right, we were going back, and then you guys were going to go do something.
Well,
while
we were going
stayed.
to switch the place Lolana's at to the Slothful Tom, hopefully, and then go wander around, see if we could find any sign of the Black Jaw chick.
While Falk and I hung back.
And watch the Slothful Tom?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're at the Slothful Tom with the Aes Sedai chick tied up in their bedroom.
Yeah.
And we're getting a steak.
Yes, I need a steak
And
Okay.
fresh pears.
and fresh pears.
What would
Candied.
you guys like to?
I should order fresh pears at the Rich.
You probably should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then bring them.
I'll put in a big order there.
Okay.
Because I've been planting that seed for a while. You better make it pay off.
Don't forget that, like, they should be candied. You need some candied fruits, too. Some glazed, syrup-covered stuff, too. Go for it.
Okay. So you're gonna put in a big order. Are you gonna eat it there? Or are
Yeah.
you gonna take it?
No, they can put it in the room or something.
Okay.
We could
Just
eat
deliver it
there.
to the room because we won't be there. Well, the idea, I had done it at several inns
Yeah.
in the past as my call sign. So just trying to,
Call sign for what though?
you know.
Like, like
somebody
the
was-
wet bandits, how they leave the faucets on.
Oh, okay.
No, if somebody was looking for us, they would know where to find us.
No one would leave these fresh pears here in a
We
room.
got some fresh pears in there.
Who orders
You know-
that many fresh pears?
Okay.
This is the first I've ever heard
Yeah.
you mention pears.
Well, you were there
No, he ordered like a crate of them at one point.
2 times.
What game am I playing? Is this Wheel of Time?
Well, we were searching for people,
Oh, okay.
but we had an idea that they might be looking for us. I think. Was the
So
first time I
okay,
did.
now I understand
And
what
so
you're
you
doing.
thought, well,
I honestly just figured you were ordering
I'll order a bunch of
crap
pears.
ton of pears,
and they'll
man.
know who I am. You know.
All right. So, what would you guys like to gather information for, and how long do you want to spend doing it?
Let's see, I believe it's Cairhein Sedai, who is the Black Ajah chick.
Okay.
So, her description, I guess, is I'll kind of go around.
Yeah, I'll see if I can aid you.
Okay. Thankfully, this isn't Shadowrun, so...
I highly doubt it. I have a charisma of 6. No.
So you're a pretty borderlander.
Yeah. Well, remember, I have
Okay, what
half
did you
my
get,
ear ripped
Dino?
off.
27?
Okay. So, you guys will spend a couple hours, the last few hours before the night truly comes and the city starts to go to sleep, which is still fairly busy, but you can find no information about one called Kraylin.
No, I'm not asking for
Or-
name. I'm going description.
Oh, just description. Okay.
Yeah. I always say I'm looking for, like, runaway sister. You know, like, that's how I word everything. You know, not too secretive there, but, you know, no mention of Aes Sedai, no the One Power, anything like that.
Okay. I take that back then. As the questioning will lead you to the what is it called? The Jangai Gate. Jangai Gate?
Yeah, the Jengai Gate.
Where you get information from the steward that's there that she had passed through days before your guys' arrival.
Going out or coming in?
Coming in.
Okay. I'll torture him.
Yeah, I gave you everything. No, there's
Well, they record. I'll whisper.
yeah, they record everything because they recorded you guys coming
Well, we
into.
asked at that gate, and he said she had passed through, but that she hadn't come back.
Yeah.
To say where she's staying.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah,
that's
it's the
all
same information
Yeah.
basically, but there's no new information on that.
Okay.
As you guys don't find anybody else that's seen nor heard. Now there are people that do know that there are other Aes Sedai in the city, and they all point you to the same location. It's a manor house that is not really well guarded. I mean, there are a couple guards stationed, but you would know, both of you, that that's not necessary.
Well, yeah. I mean, a house
mean,
full of eyes that I.
yeah.
What kind of guards are hanging out?
And you feel.
A lot of channeling.
Let me make sure
No,
that which
one
spot
channel.
we're in.
You feel one channel.
One thread.
Yeah, it's Someone's painting.
Okay. Sorry, you do not feel any channeling though. That was the odd part.
Oh, well, you want to try and sneak in?
I'd rather not. They send me
Same
back
here.
to the tower.
Yeah.
Yeah, as for a house full of Aes Sedai, there's oddly none coming from it. So.
Well, but for a house supposedly full of Aes Sedai, they're not doing anything.
Well, it is evening. Maybe they're sleeping.
Aes Sedai never sleep.
That's what's one. What does that mean for all the times you've seen her sleep, though?
I'm not sleeping.
Well, she paints eyes on her eyelids. So
Or she sleeps like a wizard with her eyes open.
Yeah.
Well, it's easy
Nice.
enough for me to paint them on because I'm Damani. So.
right. Yeah, that's part of her makeup. Well, I am actually, even though I never use it, a pretty good shot with my bow. We could do the whole fire arrow, and then you make it bigger and see what happens. Like who comes running out.
We could.
We could do it from pretty far away.
Is this going to be the time where they get in trouble and we don't?
That's what I was about to say. But unfortunately, I don't think I could stand to come back to the Slothful Tom and have those two judge me.
I don't have to tell them. All right. Well, we could pay some urchins to keep an eye on the place and follow anybody who leaves.
I'm
Are
worried.
there any urchins nearby?
Soup kitchen.
Yeah. I mean, there's always orphans, especially since there was just some pretty large fighting.
Yeah. So that's an
Not
option.
a super long time ago, but
This being Cairhein, I'm worried about who finds out about us watching a place full of Aes Sedai.
Oh, okay. Okay. I think that's the extent of my ideas.
Yeah, I
I
feel
could
that.
charge.
you could charge. I was gonna say he could charge it, and you can make him bigger.
Pick him up and throw him over the wall.
He wouldn't scream like a little girl.
Try it and let's find out.
And why is it you're talking to me?
Yeah, he's been following you around, waiting for the
wolf
chance
dream.
to
I'm
say
dressed
this.
as a street urchin.
Yeah.
Aren't you a little tall to be a child?
No.
All I did was put a child's shirt on over my armor.
Nice. Okay, so who is staying at the Slothful Tom? Who's staying at the Fancy Inn?
At least for the first night.
For the first night, at least.
I think for the first night, me and Rafe were staying at the Slothful Tom with the
With the
chained
Lalana.
Aes Sedai.
Okay, so yeah, we'll walk right in through the common room and make it known that not like announcing.
We've
anything.
arrived!
We're here.
Get on your
And I'll be
knees.
wearing my ring while doing all
Okay.
that.
Okay, so any type of watch setups, or are you guys gonna just sleep without a care in the world? Without a care in the world?
Sleep.
Got it.
No, we'll do a watch. You want to do a watch?
Yeah, are we actually staying in
Yeah.
her room? Or
I didn't feel right doing that, but I felt like I'd be popping in every now and then, or you would, just to see what
Okay.
she's doing. But
Well, just don't leave Dill alone with her.
I did actually want to. I did have a
on
thought.
Yeah,
which
he would start
like what are you
shaking
worried
the
about?
Aes Sedai.
Oh, he's got a problem with
He's
it.
got an arrow. He's got a.
Yeah.
He has an
Shooting
arrow
problem.
for every living human in the world currently.
And every time that she lags a little behind, he slows his horse, pulls one out, and just goes by and says, "This is yours."
Now, before any of us close our eyes for the last time, we'll hear Dill's voice and then the sound of his drawing
The
his
snap.
bow back. Yeah,
But I think for the watch, I'll ask for a stool or a chair.
Okay.
Just prop it outside her door. I did have a thought. I know we interrogated her a long time ago, which I can't remember the result of.
Mm-hmm.
But while the parents were gone, I wanted to ask her one of the times I don't know, bring her
Water
or something.
food, yeah.
horse feed.
No pears. You're not gonna give her pears.
No, those are at the other end. Which, when you guys get into your rooms, there should be a.
There's some
bushel of fresh
old
pears.
hours old pears in there.
Oh, I'll eat him.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask her to imagine if she were Kraylin, or if she knew what Kraylin's goal was once they had the artifice and they came to Cairhein.
So when you do talk to her, and her demeanor changes, especially when Adina's not around.
I'll keep a
Right.
She gets all like
She gets all cocky again, basically. But yeah, she leads on to that. Of course, she knows. As, what the plan is.
Well, does she know he's an Aes Sedai hunter?
Yeah.
See through all that.
Just get Dylan there to one hand his bow in her face. See this? See this?
I still can't believe that. I still cannot believe that.
Well, you best start believing.
Yeah.
I'll never
It
forget.
happened.
Game Master proved it.
You shouldn't have.
Yeah, it was kind of a battle of wills.
Yeah, it was.
Dale was really going to bat for me.
Yeah. I think there were several things that we were arguing against that night.
Yeah.
Justin
I also felt
was
like-
close to raging.
These were the stablemen equivalent of the wall that Brandon climbed, where they were ridiculously.
Oh yeah, they were like grappling.
They were all like
They were, like,
slowly going
inching
for-
away.
They were laden with weapons, and
By what
like
you mean,
booze.
pitchforks?
they were like booze. So as long as I was talking
Yeah,
to them or
they
looking
wouldn't
at them, they
move.
wouldn't. It's a very
Yeah.
complicated situation.
And we all know with you rolling the dice, Justin, they'd had a +20 with that damn pitchfork.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I seem to remember someone wielding a great axe in like the
Maybe
most
me?
devastating.
I know. I did.
There was somebody that
Yeah.
like chopped
And then
down his
Travis
like
quit.
I had this character that was supposed to be like the guy's
I came
right hand man.
Yeah.
And someone like charged in, kicked down the front door, and got like a critical
That
hit,
was
that half
max
axe.
damage on a half-to axe.
Yeah. Those
was like-
hafted axes are
I spent like
devastating, man.
time developing a backstory for that NPC, and he opens the door and instantaneously dies.
You got to do modular backstories.
Yeah.
So
Wasn't
you
that
just plug
after
it
we
in.
tried to melt the glass window
It
with
was the same
acid?
encounter.
Yeah, by throwing acid on the window.
It's pretty ingenious. I mean, all right. So for the fancy inn, are you guys setting a watch, and are you in the same room?
Yeah. Well, in this case, I think we should be.
But hold on, she knows the plan.
Oh yes, she does.
Tell me.
She smiles at you,
Roll
tells you
sense
that the will of the Great Lord, Dark Lord. What is it? Yeah,
Great Lord of the
Great
Dark.
Lord of the Dark will be known to all soon.
Can I get a sneak peek?
She
Just a little,
Come on.
just enough to wet your whistle.
But yeah, you get the do a sense motive.
Dark one's on luck. Not much better.
It's because you're dealing with the Dark One's agent.
20.
Yeah, you get the sense that that she might know something, and that she has zero incentive to share it with you.
I'll give her some incentive.
Just make a note, and I'll give her a lot of incentive when I get back.
Offer some
Like I said,
copper.
the shift in her whole person is completely different when Adina's there.
Yeah.
Because
no.
she's very meek and cowed. But as soon as Adina's gone, I mean, it's just like any other Aes Sedai you've ever seen.
Well, I will commiserate with her plight. I'll start that way. I'll tell her, I understand it's an injustice what's being done to you.
That Adina, she's a harsh mistress.
It's not right for one person to collar another and travel them halfway across the Westland. And I'm Terran, so I have a perfect sense of justice.
She tells you that you could end this now.
I know. Because of my perfect sense of justice, I'm going to tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to go to the Aes Sedai here in Cairhein and tell them that I have a dark friend, Aes Sedai, in my custody, where you'll surely be put to death
After being stilled.
after being stilled. At least with Adina, you have a chance. So
Till you're
that'll be
all
my
used up.
It'll be my I'll start with the commiseration,
Yeah.
but then I'll go into an intimidate with that.
Until I learn sever.
Yeah.
Here's my
Do you
intimidate.
practice on her as you're writing?
27.
No.
So you see at the mention of other Aes Sedai here that she might be ousted to. That's what makes her more fearful than anything else that you say, other than because you didn't threaten to tell Adina, right?
No.
Yeah. So that's the most terrifying thought for her because she knows what will happen. Right?
Yeah. And by the light, I'd love nothing more than to see you in the hands of those tower witches.
I see. But that does it does wipe that
Smirk.
real kind of
Or
like
the haughtiness?
Yeah.
It's called. Yeah.
that like nose in the air kind of wipes that out, and she's not as cowed as when Adina's around, but she definitely isn't
You're on a list now.
high and mighty basically. Yeah. It was
I am holding my leather patch in front of me this whole time.
what is it? Your leather.
His gonad patch.
Yeah, he protects himself.
I see. Okay, but she clams up. And she's definitely not being smug anymore, but
Well-
she's not offering anything either.
I'll leave you to think about it for a little while.
Maybe a beneficial. This could be beneficial to both of us type of angle.
Oh, right, yeah.
You got to come back with it.
Yeah. I'll. Are we sharing the room?
Yeah,
tonight?
I think we
Or
should.
I'll ward against the one power. How
Okay.
big's the room?
It's a good sized room.
All right, so it probably won't take up all of it.
Okay.
So it's 10-foot radius, and I don't know, like get the bed.
That's pretty good size.
Wherever, yeah.
As I'm trying to think of when me and you went to Oregon,
Okay.
right? That size of a sleeping area.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
So I'll ward the sleeping area,
Okay.
and that's all I can do for that. It's too high level. If you want, I can make a smaller one, like if you're staying outside the sleeping area or something, or what.
No, I'll stay inside it.
Okay.
Set up a chair.
And you're gonna do a watch tonight?
Yeah.
Okay. Were you gonna do any wards at the Slothful Tom?
Yeah.
What did you want to do there?
Well, I can't master ward, unfortunately, because then you guys won't be able to pass in and out, and she might suffocate.
Just get Cho'Gath to chop a small hole in the floor.
What I
Yeah.
will do
I don't have my Tommy Hawks.
is I'll do a smaller ward against the power there, and then I'll probably harden air her into the bed. Essentially,
Okay.
she can talk, she can breathe, she can get fed.
She just can't get off the bed.
Yeah.
Now's Deal's chance.
Target practice.
Yep.
Big
Let's
fish.
start with the big toe.
Well, most of her body would be encased.
I ain't raising
Yeah.
a sausage
Okay.
dog.
Probably going for
Oh, okay. I was
Ear
gonna
down.
say- That's even worse, man. Is just go in and start clubbing. That's your intimidation there. Maybe we'll find a spot Adina missed.
So that's going to be a third level weave, and I'll tie all of these weaves I'm casting off, of course.
Okay.
And then harden air. I think it's probably going to be another third level weave.
And I'm sorry, what ward were you doing at the fancy place?
1 power.
1 power.
It's just it's a bigger radius. Harden. Yeah.
Okay. So, what time are you guys going to turn in about?
Well, it's already pretty late evening, isn't it?
Okay. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
Let me rest a little while, and then.
did you guys
get some
want to
sleep
do
while it's
alternating
waking up.
watch or?
Just split the night.
Yeah, I'll probably split the night.
Okay. So, at the Slothful Tom, the evening is, fairly quiet for festival time, which is
Which
to say
floor
not
are we on?
quiet at all. There's only 2 levels, main level and then sleeping levels there.
I was hoping it was one of those crazy
Sorry.
ones where it's
The picture says 2 to 4 floors, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, it's this one is just main area, and then the one above. You guys in the fancy inn, you have four levels.
Okay.
It's a pretty tall building there, but it's a pretty loud in the Tom there, and there's if you want to, lots of merriment to be had.
I won't partake.
Okay.
I suggest it, but then I remember the rule. I have to do the opposite.
Okay.
what you would normally do.
All right. Yeah. So nothing out of the ordinary, right? I mean, there are some scuffles that get taken outside or broken up, but overall, it was a pretty fun time. It looks like throughout the night there is a performer, not a good performer, in the early evening that gets replaced by drunken men and women that are up on the little platform that they had set up for their performer singing. In your guys' inn, it's much the same, yet a completely different world seeming, right? And it's not festival time yet, but people are getting ramped up to it. But whereas in the Tom, it lasts into the early morning hours, it dies off pretty quick in your guys' inn. In the Tom, your guys' night will pass pretty uneventfully. But a couple hours after it dies down, in from your room, I'll have you do listen.
Oh, okay. 28.
Okay.
What I'm doing is holding my horn up to my ear backwards,
Do you have endurance?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go ahead and do a concentration check as well.
Concentration. I don't.
I believe it's just yeah.
7.
Okay. So you're able to stay awake, but it's pretty boring. There's not even music anymore, but that does allow you to hear in the hallway some whispering and a creak outside of your door.
Okay. I will immediately go shake Adina awake, Voices outside the door.
I'll nod to him and I'll embrace the source.
Okay. So did you guys leave your door locked or unlocked?
Locked.
Okay. So you see slowly the handles start to move down, and then it moves all the way down, but the lock doesn't allow it to go in, and then you hear some cursing, and you start to hear some scraping around the keyhole.
Like a metal.
Yeah.
Trying to lift the lock or whatever.
Yeah, I want to go take up position just to the side of the door.
Okay.
The side where when it opens, it won't obstruct me.
Okay. So yeah, as it'll open out this way, so you can be off to the left of it there.
Yeah.
Adina, what would you like to do?
I'm going to need to move out of. Well, I don't think Aes Sedai or Blackjaw would try to pick a lock.
Yeah.
So I think we're good there. So I'll move outside the
ward.
Yeah, and I'll put like if I can still see the door, I'll put a thing of hardened air in front of me and tie that off.
Okay. So it takes. Let's see how well he does here.
If there's still time with
Okay.
all that rolling.
Yeah,
there.
so you'll have 3 rounds basically.
Well, after like the second one,
yeah.
Already.
I'll unlock it.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say is you hear like it drop right in there, and then on that third one they would
Okay.
get it. So right as you're reaching over to unlock it, you hear it
help
click
these guys.
open.
Already arms of air.
Okay. So yeah, the door slowly pushes open, and from where you're at, you don't see anybody, but you see there are 3 people out there.
All right. I'll pick one of them, whichever one's closest.
Okay.
And I'll fling him into the
room
past Cho'Gath.
Okay. So does he get a save at all on that or no? Okay.
I do think we should probably switch it to a touch attack eventually.
Yeah.
But right now there's no save on it at all.
So go ahead and do your. This will trigger a readied that you had. You just see him. There's
The door creak open.
Yeah, door creaks open, and you hear a gasp as they see her standing there, and then all of a sudden, someone goes flying past you.
Yeah, I'll just hold so that they still think she's,
Okay.
the only one that they know about. I'll wait for him to come in.
Is there any? How far do you fling him?
70 feet.
Okay,
I guess I'll kind of do it up towards the ceiling.
Okay, so do a 5-foot fall, or a 10-foot fall.
Yeah.
Or no, 15, because you go 5 up, 10 down, right? But the ceilings are raised a bit in here. It's a pretty nice place, right? So he's going about 5 feet up, and then he's going to fall from the ceiling to the floor.
So yeah, I guess maybe 10 if you want to do that. If he hits something hard,
he's going to hit the ceiling.
Yeah, so we'll count that.
And flinging him 70, he's going to hit pretty hard,
6.
I imagine.
Well, it's not like,
Do the math.
yeah.
What's his? How fast is he going, Justin?
Horses
Depends on his acceleration.
70 feet in
Okay.
6 seconds.
We're waiting.
You
went to school, didn't you?
You learn anything with that fancy education? Thank you so much better.
Benadryl's hard.
So I thought the Benadryl was for the dog. All right.
No, I have better stuff for me.
So yeah, that's my action.
All right. So now the noise picks up. You hear 3 other voices out in the hallway. There's one that was around the edge there because the hallway's not big enough to accommodate that. But they do rush in. So that'll start your readied, and then we'll do... Well, let's do initiative. Sorry. I apologize. Where were you having Dill? Was he back there with them?
He's with these guys.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Nice guy's dead for sure.
Because you'll have to stop him from getting stealing drinks off of or unoccupied drinks, and then trying to take out the Aes Sedai.
You hear me? You might not be you'd have to figure out their heads not hardened in air, but
okay.
just light that in on fire.
Adina
4
and Cho'Gath
16.
All right. So yeah, these guys run in, so it'll ready your triggered or your ready to action.
So what I want to do is, once they're in, I want to move to the door and then close it.
Okay. So,
like a 5 foot to the door, close it.
Okay, so you want to wait till they've actually moved past. Okay, so I guess that would just make it a normal initiative order then.
Okay.
So yeah, they all go to. So how were you encasing the entire front so no one could get around it, or are there ways?
Yeah, essentially, I
kind of like over in a corner almost.
Well, I might be able to. How wide's the?
The room here is about a little over 10 feet.
Oh yeah, I can stretch this across the whole thing.
Okay. So yeah, they rush up to Adina, and they have daggers that they're trying to stab her, but it's hitting that wall of air. So, and then you step over 5 feet and a move action to close, so you'd still have another move.
No, I'll stand here.
Okay.
I'll keep any of them from leaving.
Okay.
'Cause, we're not locked in here with them.
Yeah, they're locked in with you. Yeah. All right. So the one will stand back up on the next phase. So if you want, I guess he's prone, but it'll be your turn, Adina.
Oh, okay.
After, so you see Cho'Gath step in front, close the door,
All right, so we got 10 feet between each wall.
Yeah, there's about 10 feet across, 10 feet.
Yeah, so I'll fling him across the room.
Okay, the one that's laying down again?
Towards
Okay.
the other side of the room. And so that should get him his 10 feet for fall.
Okay.
He takes 3.
So he's not quite knocked out, but he's pretty close.
And my turn.
Okay, so yeah, he's gonna pretty shakily get back to his feet. He notices you, and he shouts something that's not as intelligible as it probably meant to be.
Right.
Right.
He's all addled. And
But it does get the
Armstrong.
attention of at least one of the other guys who will move across to engage you.
You want me to harden air the door next round?
yeah, I mean, we don't want him to leave, so they're not getting
It's a
through me.
critical threat. It's the only way he can hit Shogoth, I'm sure. 17.
That's just a regular hit.
Okay. So
I got daggers.
yeah. So 4 damage. Maxed his damage out.
Yeah, that's a good hit.
Yeah.
You feel good about that, don't you?
As the other 2 are still occupied with trying to find a way around. Now you just see them doing the mime thing where they're like trying to find an entry point to you.
This reminds me of like in an MMO when you make an excursion to an area you're not supposed to be in.
Yeah.
Like they wandered into the wrong room.
Yeah. Cho'Gath.
Right, so I'll full attack this guy.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that a 1 or a 7? That's a 1. Miss.
Okay.
And then 20.
That is a hit.
10 damage.
All right. So that doesn't quite get him, but you lay him open
Yeah, so
quite a bit.
I stabbed towards him with the first miss and then drew it back in a slicing motion
Okay.
along his side.
All right. So Adina, as you got one guy or 2 guys that are trying to fill along, one guy that's stood up, and another guy that Cho'Gath has nearly killed.
Is there any more voices
Bleeding.
coming from outside?
No.
Okay. All right. I'm going to multi-weave,
Okay.
and I'm going to... Got it. Harden air, just a real small one, just over the door,
Okay.
and move action to tie off for full round.
Do move.
All right, so then I'll tie that off, and that's my turn.
Okay. So the guy that you had opened up cries out when you do. That draws the attention of the other 2.
That hurt.
Yeah. So you'll have all of them are gonna try and attack you at this point.
Good.
Critical threat. 15.
Just the regular hit.
5. A 6. And a
Damage?
14. No, those are the
Oh, okay.
attacks.
Yeah,
So just
the
one
one
hit.
yeah.
Okay.
This is where you need to use the heron marks that intimidate the...
Yeah.
2 damage.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think these guys have hurt him more than the last fade did.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it will be you.
All right. So I will attack the one that I attacked previously.
Okay.
22,
It's a hit.
14 damage.
So you had 1 hit point left. So
I'll
you
take
did-
his head off.
Okay.
And then cleave to the
Do you
next
wanna-
one.
Okay, so that's the one that she's been flinging around.
No, different one.
A different one? Okay.
Yeah. I'm earmarking that guy for the one that we...
That you keep alive.
Keep alive.
Been through enough already.
So cleave is like 31
It's a hit.
for 12 damage.
And you kill that one too.
And then I'll take my second attack on another one.
Okay.
19
It's a hit.
for 12 damage.
Don't quite kill that one, but he's pretty bad.
There's blood flying everywhere. Head rolls on the floor.
At this point, you do start to hear something in the hallway. It doesn't sound like someone sneaking. It sounds like people who have just woken up to
Hey, what's going on?
Basically.
Pardon me, I'm tired.
It's like a horror movie in there.
You're going to open it. There's blood flying from the ceiling.
People get flung about. Heads flying off.
It would be your turn, Adina. Can you...
I'll fling that guy one more time.
Okay.
For 4.
And that drops him down.
All right.
So there's just be one standing. Shoot. And that guy's going to give up, man.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. They weren't expecting this. So the last survivor had yielded to you guys.
Conscious survivor. I don't think the other one's dead.
Oh, right.
Well,
Killed
yeah,
the rest.
the last conscious member of that group. That was another adventuring party.
The one who got tossed around a bunch, he's still alive.
He's
right?
still alive. He's just knocked out. But the other one, seeing you fillet his friends,
Okay.
just gave up
All right.
after you nearly cut him in two.
I'll tell him keep his hands up or I'll have him.
I'll let the weaves drop or untie them.
Okay.
And I'll go to the door and I'll poke my head out.
Yeah, so there's people milling about, and I mean, they know that all that noise was coming from your room. So the innkeeper is there.
Male or female?
It was a... ooh. I'll have to look again. Sorry.
Male? Go on, it's 50-50 chance, man.
Here. 1 through 8
Yep,
is male. Yeah,
it's a male.
Oh! This is going to be a horrible lie.
Okay.
But I'm sorry, night terrors, and I'll close the door.
So, I mean, you hear conversation out there, but you start to hear people, closing their doors, going back into their rooms. And the innkeeper does try to inquire through the door if everything's okay, if he needs to send someone up to, sounded like, a few things got knocked over in there.
I'd say we not let anybody in until we're ready to never come back.
Thank you very much for your concern.
All right.
I will fully reimburse you for anything that is broken. Good night.
Okay. So before we get into interrogation,
Like it's a foregone conclusion that we're going to
Yeah,
interrogate.
why would we even do
well,
that? We'll take him to the constable.
They're just saving him to take him to the top of the towers
Yeah.
to see how far Adina can fling him.
Are they
that's-
truly topless?
We should have chained every prisoner together.
March
March from the beginning in anticipation. Yeah.
Trollocs too.
yeah. Where are we going? Please, we've been walking for months. We'll get there.
Soon.
Do you see
So-
them on the horizon?
After your watch ends, what are you gonna do when you're in the slothful Tom? Is remember Dill's been sneaking some drinks as
Yeah.
well. So
Can you hear them down there singing like bodies?
yeah, like if you're sitting back while in the common room, you do see him, kind of drunkenly weaving. It didn't take much, but he's
Gets a little bit of rum that he wasn't
Yeah.
expecting.
Well, I'll see if I can impress on him the need to stay sober in a time such as this.
all right.
And if you're gonna get drunk, how to do it appropriately.
Let me show you.
It's our creator-given right to get good and drunk.
Man
However,
can't just give his, let his head go to the booze.
we
So-
got a mission.
Yeah, he'll turn in fairly early because of that. What were you wanting to do after yours, though? So after you wake up, Falk.
Falk, I'll actually share my attempt to interrogate Lana.
Lalana. Yeah. Did you want to go back in?
I didn't feel like I'd get a better role or that I had any other ideas
Okay.
other than to switch to threatening her by saying I would tell Adina.
Okay.
I mean, I could try that, but it makes me into a liar with my previous threat.
All right.
So I got that great serpent ring, maybe.
You're gonna put it on pretend to be an Aes Sedai.
I have
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Of +2. So I think I can do this.
This is how they get their powers. I've seen Adina do this a million times.
I might try it though. Maybe I could get like a serving woman to.
If you put it on and try to channel, I'll roll a percentile, and we'll see if you become a channeler.
Do it.
You'll start gaining the madness, and you'll have to take an immediate level in Mel Wilder.
Well, actually, I'll confer with Falk some of the. I'll see if you have any ideas for how we might further intimidate Lilana.
I'd rather not even deal with her.
I
I
agree.
don't trust that witch.
She makes me nervous. I don't like her having it.
She's a servant of the Dark One. Has powers that she ought not have.
This is when Dill brings up the idea to kill her. I agree with you, boys. Need to put her down.
But aside from all that, how do you think we could extract?
I'd best not even talk to her without Adina present.
I'll get a serving woman to pose as an Aes Sedai, because I have this.
We think he'd be pretty hard pressed to
I don't
get
think
one
we
of
want
them to put that
anyone
on.
to even know that she's there,
Right.
let alone. This is
That's
strange
true.
being the voice of reason here.
No, I already, because it was my idea, I already have to not do it.
Yeah.
So I need an idea that's not our idea.
Dill.
That's a good idea.
What did she specifically tell us to do?
Hey, Dale,
I'm an
before
Aes
you
Sedai.
turn in. All right, since I can't think anything, I'll just, before I pass the watch off to Falk, I'll tell her she had her time to think about it. Did you make up your mind?
She reminds you of a Solon girl with her expression. She does not speak to you though.
All right.
You know what you should do? You should take this to a third party. Go down, enjoy some ale or some wine. Don't reveal anything, but talk to someone at another table or
There's a
something.
girl I know.
Who is currently being held against her will.
Well, she's in a fine mess.
In fact, if I describe it to you, it's gonna sound pretty horrible.
It's going to sound like kidnapping.
she's in a bit of she's in a fine mess,
Right.
right?
Well, no, I'll turn in and I'll just tell her. Well, first thing in the morning, I'm gonna
Okay.
let her know. So either your sisters or Adina.
It's because Rand al'Thor's so close. Taveron's messing with you. And Falk, too.
Yeah, suddenly I became reasonable.
All right. So, throughout your watch, it's pretty much a lot of the same. The party goes, or the festivities go well into the night, into early morning. It's pretty loud. You can partake of drink if you'd like to.
No, I better not.
Okay.
So, after I'm sure Falk and Dill are asleep, I'm going to go into the room. I'm going to pry the window open with my dagger. I'm going to cover Lilana's mouth and then shove the dagger through her eye.
Okay. Go ahead and do your coup de grace.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Was that the opposite of what you wanted to do? I want to let her live.
It's Taveron.
All right, Adina said.
Why are you doing this? Was this a madness thing?
No. 28 damage.
We'll chalk it up to madness.
You would have killed me.
Where did I put my...
Yeah. 28 damage.
Okay. Just a second.
I'm going to catch all the blame for this.
You were
Yeah, but
That's
you'll
happening
see,
during my
you'll
watch.
see right through any lie he
That's
tells.
true. And so will everyone else, because it's
Probably.
Falk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
do one more.
So you got
man,
twisted.
horrible.
Yeah, I'll twist it.
Oh.
Hammer
So,
it in a little.
yeah, it's 2 attacks
Okay.
in the same
yeah.
round.
In 2, you'll get it.
Yeah.
You feel like the optical nerve twang. off the edge of the
Well, it
blade.
hits the back of the eye socket, and I have to, push
Out
a
of
little bit
character.
harder.
I didn't get a
So-
chance to learn touch of death, Justin, and I'll never forgive you.
Well, it's a good thing.
But she'll make sure that she practices every chance she gets on you.
It's a good thing you haven't left her alone with me since we captured her, because I've been trying to find a way to kill her since we captured her.
Yeah.
So yeah, when you come in and she sees that it's different, right? That it's not him.
Yellow,
she gets that
burnished
real
eyes.
smug look until she realizes what you're gonna do. And there's some struggle, but she can't move.
Yeah, she can't.
I mean,
she's pinned to the bed,
it's
so it's
just
pretty
her
much
head.
just cover her mouth,
Yep.
so she can't scream.
Yeah,
and
but
then
could you imagine how weird that is? Because I wouldn't have just told them where she was covered.
Yeah.
To, so he has to run his hand until he finds a spot.
Well, I'd probably seen Rafe interrogating her.
I mean, you know that she can speak, and you've seen her move her head, but you could definitely tell she's not moving her body.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
But yeah, then I'm going to go about using my knife to pry open the window to make it look like somebody had pried it open.
pried it open. Okay.
Going to go downstairs and kind of ruffle things up in the alleyway, make some scuff marks up along the wall.
Lock pick or open lock, but we'll do it as a reverse. So you're trying to mimic the look of it.
So that way it doesn't look like
Right.
it's open from the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. 16.
Okay.
Or no, Dex. 17.
Okay. Yeah. So you do a pretty fair job of making some marks on the outside too, to make it look like you had to pry into it and pop it.
Yeah.
And then, outside, ruffle some stuff up in the alley, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of scuff up the walls to make it look like someone climbed up.
So do you want to wait until morning and discover her? Or
No, I'm gonna wait
are you going to
about-
tell people you did this?
I'm going to wait about an hour,
Okay.
and then I'm going to open the door and come back out and then wake up Rafe and tell him that I just found her dead in the room.
Okay.
Bluff.
So yeah, it'll be a bluff against
Well,
your...
I'm just gonna say I just found her dead in the room. I'm not gonna try
Which is a
and lie.
bluff because you just found
So if you don't want to bluff, then
gotta
you
find
would
the
say,
Aes Sedai language.
so
Yeah.
Lalana's dead,
Yeah.
right? That's the wording that you'll have to use,
Then
basically.
shut up.
Well-
Wait for your lawyer.
Exactly.
There-
You need to lawyer up right now,
There are a
bud.
lot of cues beyond the verbal. So
Yeah.
even saying something that simple,
That's true.
But, yeah.
You'd have
All
to
right.
still
feel-
be acting in a way.
Yeah,
that-
so you can do sense motive. That'd be about
Yeah,
right.
that's what
yeah,
counters
that's what I
bluff.
think.
Okay. If you feel suspicious about it, that's up to you.
Well,
If you think like I got a sneaking suspicion, you stabbed her through
Well,
the
no,
eye.
that's
no,
Jeez.
because I'm surprised.
Yeah.
When he did that, I was like, wait, what did Justin just say? So I'm going to take that as Rafe would not think that
Falk would do
So
it.
if you think his simple statement is
Yeah, I
not
mean,
him,
it arouses a suspicion of someone killed her.
Yeah.
Well,
and
the
especially
follow-up questions could potentially be
Yeah.
mess with
Right.
them, right?
Yeah,
Did
we'll
you hear
just-
anything? What did you see?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So,
But I don't. The
Find
first
out.
thing,
dagger going into her eye.
the first thing I
the
say
scraping
is,
sound against bone.
is we gotta hightail it out of town.
You gonna start drinking?
It doesn't matter who killed her. When Adina and Shogoth get back, they're gonna blame me.
put the bloody knife by Dill. Everything's fine.
I think
he got drunk. He killed her. That's the end of it.
I think at some point we're going to need to send a message to them that they need to come over here to our expensive inn.
Yes.
Yeah, to help.
Yeah. So the time frame of this would be
Right when we were fighting.
roughly right when that's all happening. So it would take roughly 20 minutes after you guys. So you can, if you're going to go through any type of talking with these guys before, or if you're immediately going to send for it, there'll be about a 20-minute travel from your inn to their inn, plus whatever other time you guys spend.
I'm going to try to find someone who isn't like, oh man, it's going to be hard. Maybe a quick sense motive to find someone who I think might not be just going right to some random person to rat us out.
Okay.
Like the nobles or something.
Yeah.
Right?
I was gonna say there are messengers on hand.
I don't want to use them because
but-
they're all
okay.
on pay.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much everybody in the city.
Yeah.
You use one of your street urchins.
Dude, I guess if I have street urchins.
Well, you guys
Yeah, they're
paid some
everywhere,
kids,
right?
yeah, to
Little nerds.
watch the place. So
Yeah.
you could find one or find one of those in the area to
You want to go do that? I'll
Yeah.
start using the power to kind of pool
scrape
the blood.
all the
Yeah.
blood.
Okay, so you want me to send a message that they need to come over here?
Yeah, we were attacked in the night. Well, you know, not so open.
Yeah, I'll go find a kid.
Okay.
And send a message to him.
Tell him I did this.
Yeah, so I'll find one that looks like the worst.
Okay.
You know, like who's been really having a rough time for a long time, that sort of thing, right?
All right.
So maybe I need to do like a
You could do
sense.
well.
So since the street urchins need to get there about the same time we're having our conversation, are we just going to assume that Adina already knows and that we have to flee?
Yeah, the message is we have a mess that needs cleaning up. She knows.
Well, anyway, I'll find one that looks
Down on his luck.
really down on their luck.
Yeah, I mean, in the fashion of traditional street urchin that most fantasy settings make out to be,
Yeah.
they all make themselves look worse than they really are off. So you could do a sense motive to see
Yeah, that's what I was.
Okay.
Something like that to see one that actually, because
that really is down on their
you
luck.
can see
Okay.
their eyes are sunken or their whatever.
It's the one that, as you come up, they're all beating up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably that one.
So Cho'Gath charges in,
Yeah.
kills them.
Yeah. Well, I can't tell. I just pick one.
Okay.
Right.
I saved your life, boy. You owe
Say,
me.
hey, kid, come here.
All right.
And I'll tell them I need you to get a message to some friends of mine in an inn nearby called the Slothful Tom. Do you know it?
He says that he does.
Okay. I need you to go find my friends and tell them that they need to get over here as soon as possible.
All right. What are their names, or what do they look like?
Yeah, I'll give descriptions.
Okay.
And I will give him a mark, a silver mark, and I'll tell him that there's a crown in it for you if you come back.
He says.
If they show up and you're here, there's a crown in it.
Okay. He says right away and runs off. Gee golly gosh, mister, you're the best.
Before half a dozen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
other
now
urchins
as
descend on him.
he takes about 3 steps and then a swarm of other kids.
They tear his hands and feet off.
Run fast, kid.
When they pull his head off, his scream gets higher pitched.
Family friendly.
the mark goes tumbling down the street.
Yeah.
Man, you can't play this for
Then
anybody.
you say, you know who the richest street urchin is in Cairhein? Whichever one gets that mark.
So you come out of the inn because it's been hours, and Cho'Gath is sitting in the street drinking ale, watching urchins kill each other.
I'll bind the hands and feet of the
Okay.
2 that were living, even the unconscious one.
Okay.
Sorry, I forgot to do that, and tie that off.
Evidently, we were holding our topless tower's bloodlust.
So,
Hey, it's a festival.
hey,
Did
Cairhein
you hear?
brings out the worst in people.
Oh no, John!
All right.
It's a festival.
That's,
Aren't we
I'm
just
supposed to
celebrating?
have fun.
Let loose, Falk.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you guys will have about roughly about 20 minutes to do whatever you want to do with this situation before someone arrives.
Well, fortunately for Falk, I'm a blowhard and know-it-all, so...
Put some rouge on her cheeks and
no, I mean, I just start trying to solve the situation without any input from
Yeah.
him.
So when you go, if you go, are you going to go into the room?
Yeah.
So you'll see exactly what he had set up, basically. So she's dead. Did you leave the dagger or take... No.
No.
Okay.
This
So
is
you
your
see...
dagger.
I'm not dead.
No.
you should have
But you see,
ceremonial.
obviously,
Yeah.
she was stabbed in the eye.
Yeah.
It doesn't... it's hard to tell if she struggled, but you do see that it looks like whoever did it came through the window.
Real clean work of a professional.
Real pro.
Must be killing women left, right, and center.
Whoever this is walks through the range right.
Well, Falk, the first best two options would be to either run or alert
Who is this?
the town guard.
I don't think we want to alert the town guard.
Aha! But I've had a thought.
Okay, so
So
I
I'm
missed what you said. Sorry.
speaking out loud, basically doing a search of the room.
Sherlock in it.
Yeah, trying not to disturb it. And I suppose the first question that will occur to me towards Falk will be like, well, what did you hear?
I've only heard the party going on downstairs.
So yeah, this one you'll need to do a bluff. I mean, you can hear still the revelries taking place downstairs, and it is pretty loud up in the rooms as well. But what'd you get?
28.
28.
Lower than that?
How much lower?
Like 20 lower?
So yeah, I mean, he does answer you like, I just heard what's going on downstairs, but you definitely can tell
I probably stand there and like stare at my feet and like kick something that's not
there's
there.
something
and,
not right about the answer, right? Like whether he knows more than he's letting on, or whether he's just as upset as you are that Adina is going to do something about it.
Well, in my
Who
internal
knows?
monologue, I figure we're all pretty uncomfortable with the fact that this dark friend has been traveling with us. Just because she could spring free of her bonds at any moment.
It's probably summon the Dark One.
Some of the Dark One. So is it possible that Falk heard
Has
what was
eliminated
happening
the problem.
and allowed it to happen?
Oh man, how would you go? I guess role play it, right?
Yeah.
Falk, you're my brother. I'll back you no matter what. You know more than you're letting on.
What does it matter? She's dead. She's not coming back.
It matters because people are going to have questions, and we have to make sure we say the right stuff. Things.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that any jackdaw fool that walks in here is going to see through the fact that you're lying.
So I might have heard something.
Well, what was it?
There was scuffle and some banging. And
Go ahead and do another
Yeah.
bluff and sense motive.
Does he even need to roll?
I don't know. It
32.
tells me no.
no, he got a 32. I got a 10.
So
yeah, this is kind of a one-sided thing
Yeah,
going
you-
on here.
Pretty easily tell that that's not true either.
I just can't believe it. That Falk would do that. He's never shown any. But his eyes have turned yellow, I bet. No, that wouldn't make sense. Why would she cast a curse on him to have him kill her? No, that's no good.
But she's a slave. She's a captured. She's being held against her will. Maybe that is better than
And
the
the
treatment
grave
that you've seen
further.
from Adina.
What?
Said maybe that's better than the treatment you've seen that she gets from Adina.
Could she have been so desperate?
Maybe.
Could also go the other way. Adina put the curse on him because she doesn't like getting her hands dirty.
That's true.
She's having you do
Has
all
she
her
ever
dirty
built the
work.
fire herself? No,
No.
you had to
Cook?
build it.
No.
Yeah,
Clean
she's
up after the
always
horses?
just burst people into flames. That's it. Always there for the finale, never there for the hard stuff.
Falk, they're gonna find out. Because I'm also bad at bluffing. So let's get out of it.
So about this time, you get a knock on the door. Yep. And a voice calls that there's a messenger here for you.
I'll open the door a crack.
Okay. Yeah, so it's one of the serving women from downstairs that just says that there's a kid here that says he's got a message from someone you know. He doesn't know your name, but he's describing you.
Okay. I'll be down in a moment.
Okay.
Get the hacksaw and the hatchet.
You gotta dispose of the body.
But you can only get rid of the head.
So I have to take the whole bed.
All right.
Yep. Cut through the bed, let her fall out the bottom, throw her out the window.
I'll just don't do anything. I'll be right back.
All right. So you're gonna go down and receive the message. So it's a really dirty, down on his luck street urchin who tells you that. Did you give him your name at all, or no?
Nope.
All right. He describes someone that you would recognize as Cho'Gath, but way over the top.
Taller, more
Right?
muscular.
Yeah. Taller. He's as big as this.
That's actually the same description I have.
Half his face.
Young borderlander, heron marked sword. He had a heron marked sword, but he tells you that he was sent to come fetch you and another person, and gives a description of Falk that they need you at this other inn.
Well, I'll tell the messenger that he'll have to return with a new message for Cho'Gath, and
Okay.
I'll code it in the Game of Houses.
Okay.
There's been a dark turn of events. One eye is blind.
One eye no longer sees.
Yeah. I guess we'll...
Should have slept with one eye open.
Yeah. It was, close the window. There's a breeze outside.
Yeah, that's good. All right, go with that.
All right.
Let's send that off.
He does say that he was told that you would give him a gold crown when he got here.
Oh, I'll give him a gold crown. I'll give him another one.
But not anymore.
I'll give him 2 and
Okay.
tell him to tell no one that he was here.
Okay.
Besides Cho'Gath.
Oh man! All right. So he takes off running back the other way, and it'll be about the same amount of time, about 20 minutes later, that it'll get to you guys. So you guys will have a little bit of time here before the messenger gets back on both sides. So I'll let you guys formulate what you want to do at the sloth, and we'll go back to the first 20 minutes.
All right.
At your guys' inn. So you would go back. You can go back up. She's got everything clean. Where are you just gonna one powered out the window or something? What are you gonna do with this?
That's a lot of blood and a lot of body parts left over. No, I think what I'll do is I'll kind of one power it all into a ball.
Yeah,
and
tie it
just
off.
harden it.
Okay. Yeah. So you go back in. She's got the 2 guys bound.
Gore ball.
And then yeah,
It's like one of those
a ball
Fallout 3
of-
super mutant.
yeah,
Yeah,
a ball
we're
of
back.
blood and various body parts that you had chopped off. But the room's clean.
Yeah.
And I would have gotten dressed
Yep.
by that point.
She's in this pristine white.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll be sitting down looking at the 2 prisoners,
Yeah.
and I'll be sipping
Did
on
you
something.
want to wake that one up at all?
He can sleep.
Okay. So yeah, just the one guy's awake and he looks terrified at this point.
Yeah, there's a giant gore ball floating in the air.
Not just from watching his friends get cut down and the fact that now you're back, but he just watched all of his
Yeah.
friends that were in pieces and blood around the room get scooped up and rolled into a ball, and it's just sitting there now.
Yeah.
So
I'll be sipping on some
Yeah.
wine and looking at him over the rim of the cup. And I haven't said anything to him.
Okay. Well, so for my part, I'll lock the door and I'll just grab a chair and sit down
okay.
where
So-
where they can see me. You know, just to
Start
add a little
like
bit of
stabbing at the
intimidation,
gore ball.
right.
It's in hardened area. It's not.
Well, I know, but he can still stab at it.
Yeah, and I'll let Adina handle the interrogation.
Does that put him in a
Okay.
state of perpetual cleave?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
technically
good
they are
idea.
dead. Have him follow it around. Just ping.
All right. So I'll sit down the glass. And,
Okay.
so, who sent you?
Let's see. Do an intimidate.
All right. That's what I was looking for. Composure. See if I got a bonus to that intimidate or not. But John, my intimidate sucks. Dang it. It's never where it's
Well,
supposed to
you
be.
can. Cho'Gath could do the
Assist.
intimidate,
Oh, and I
and you
aid
can
him?
aid.
I
yeah.
like that. Okay.
Dark One's own. Look. No.
No. Okay.
I hate intimidate. It's such a stupid thing.
Well, I did page you.
Yeah, I say you.
So
if you need to,
12.
you can do the other way around. It's up to you guys. I'm sorry. What was it?
It'd be 12.
12.
Yes. Plus whatever bonus the gore bag gets.
Yeah, if it's the other way around, it would be 17 for me.
Well, you guys are gonna have some bonus on that from the way that everything has been going for this poor band of adventurers so far.
I know, we really are down on our luck.
I know. So, okay. So, he says that he works for the Kite.
And who is that?
They don't. So, I don't know his name. He's always hooded, and he dresses in black.
Where do you meet the Kite?
Says that he doesn't. He's only seen the Kite a few times. He meets with a man named Maris usually when the Kite has work for him. That's Marris. He does go on to say that if he knew that they wanted him to kill, that we'd been hired to kill an Aes Sedai, we never would have done it. We never would have taken the work.
I'm sure you wouldn't.
And then he starts cursing someone named Mips.
And who is this Mips?
He says that he runs a fruit stand by the Jengi Gate.
And what exactly were your orders tonight?
We were just supposed to sneak in and kill 4 people, and that was it.
Anything else? Are you sure?
That's all they told us to do.
So Mips just runs the fruit stand?
Mips is the one that put them onto the job. Maris is the one that gave the instruction, and Maris Works is the second in command for the Kite.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, you seem to, unless you want to start volunteering anything, you're getting really close to being useless.
Well, he tells you that you might as well kill him because he's a dead man anyways. Because once the Kite find out that they failed, it's like we won't even make it out of the city.
You're right, you won't. I'll harden air over his mouth and nose.
Okay. What about the unconscious dude?
Yeah, once I see that's the route that we're taking, I'll
Okay.
Snuff that guy.
All right. Go clean or messy?
Well, just knife his throat. You know.
Jump on him. But if I see Cho'Gath, how did you off the guy?
Just cut his
knife.
throat.
Yeah, I'll... No. I just cleaned.
That's true.
You want to go with the old
Yeah.
snuff him there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Suffocate him.
So, yeah, and it takes a while, but since they're bound in air, they really don't put up much of a struggle.
And we got to find a way to get rid of all these corpses.
Just enroll them into your goo ball,
I'm thinking about
and
incinerating
then roll it out the window.
Put it up on the roof. Yeah.
Stuff it up the chimney.
I could make like a box of hardened air that's hollow, and then firestorm inside it.
It's true.
But there'd be no oxygen eventually, so it
Yeah.
would burn it.
I like
Well-
the idea of like putting it on something and seeing how far you can fling it out the window.
You could always put it, like I said, put it in the chimney. Use the chimney for the air, and then firestorm into that. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do a firestorm though.
Oh.
I need to light the inn on fire.
How much can you get from a fireplace?
This seems like a bad movie where someone who's never killed anyone before is trying to dispose of a body. They're like feeding it into a
I
fireplace.
think I might just leave it there. It'll last for about a week or so, and then it will come undone.
Yeah, splash. That's why I'm saying shove it up the chimney also, because even if you don't set it up fire, is you just harden air right under it, and then in a week later when you're gone, it'll splash back down to the room.
There's
Someone
gonna be, like
else's
some
problem.
sort of a moment from The Shining where someone's just sitting on their bed.
Man, this is a really nice place. Cairhein's great this time of year.
Corpse.
Man. Okay. So
everyone's bluff.
you guys finish off the two in the room. There's a knock at the door. It's the innkeeper who says that a messenger, and he says it disdainfully, is here for Cho'Gath.
Okay. Well, it's probably that kid I sent. I'll go figure out what's going on.
Okay. So yeah, you go down there.
I'll make sure when I open the door that the proprietor can't see past me. Right.
Okay. Yeah, the way that the door is set and the room is set, and you could have all your dead stuff over in the corner.
Yeah.
So, so you go out there, and it's the same kid. He's saying that he tries to relay that message to you of there's been a dark incident, and someone is blind in one eye and closed the window because there's a breeze. But he said that you'd also give him a gold crown upon his return.
I'm going to snatch him up and lift him above my head.
50 gold crowns.
Slam him against the wall and say, you didn't even go take that message, did you?
He said, I did. I did. As he describes Rafe almost to a T, even details you left out.
Like the sly smirk that he always wears.
And they wouldn't come.
All right, get out of here.
All right.
I'll give him his crown.
You go back and you tell them this. Hell's coming.
Hell with this job. I'm out of here.
Yeah, I'll give him his crown.
Okay.
Tell him, get out of here. And don't tell anybody how much money you have.
That's going to cost another gold crown.
Yeah. Not telling anybody how much money I have. You better give me more money. All right. Yeah, so he takes off.
And I'll go back in and tell Adina something's going on over there because they sent a message back that they can't come over, and then a bunch of nonsense. Dark is the night. One eye can't see the other. I don't know.
You immediately know that's Rafe's doing.
What's that jacked off fool up to now? We need to get out of this place anyway.
Right. So do
Pay
we
for
want
the
to
room for the next month. Tell no one to enter.
Or we burn it all down.
Yeah, tie off hardened air behind the door and walk out.
Yeah,
That's not a bad idea. The hardened air will last. It's like days minus the weed level.
Okay.
So I'll figure it out here at the end. But I'm getting kind of tired, so it won't be as strong as it could be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll pay the innkeep for an extra week.
Okay.
I'll close the door.
Specific instructions.
Oh, yeah.
Don't enter the
we're
room.
not
No
to be
cleaning.
disturbed.
Nothing.
I can do that barrier from sight.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I'll do that before I harden the air on the door and inform that we're going to have our belongings and whatever taken.
Okay. Well, you can bring your stuff out.
Not with people because they think we're going to be staying there an extra week.
That's true.
Right.
Well,
not that we probably brought it all in anyway.
Yeah, I would imagine that you
just our packs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, saddle up your horses. That doesn't seem odd.
Okay, here's what we'll do. I'll go get the horses, and I'll go park under the window.
You toss the stuff
Drop
out.
the
and
packs
hop on.
out to me, and I'll pay the innkeep and give our instructions.
Okay.
So yeah, for another week, we will rent this room. We wish not to be disturbed under any circumstances, and none are to enter.
Give her an extra 10 for a pitcher fell over.
Oh yeah,
Broke.
My companion had a bad dream and broke a picture. So
see, with those words, you
What's
just
the total?
started the chain of different lords to come.
yeah,
Yeah.
See
Now
what's going on.
everybody's gonna come try and get your attention there.
so what's the total that for that?
So that was. Let's see.
It's happening too quick for me to write it.
So the inn is 2 marks a day. So 20 marks
Yeah.
Plus the, 10?
Yeah, so I'll give her 30 marks.
Okay.
And then I'll go get the horses ready
Okay.
and go park underneath the door or window.
Yeah.
And toss the stuff out and then walk down, or are you going to hop out the window?
That might be even more suspicious.
Yeah.
Because there's got to be someone
Someone will
watching.
see.
Yeah.
So I'll go around the back and.
Okay. So in a little bit of time, they'll arrive, but you guys will have some time in between too. So the runner never comes back after, which you may or may not have expected. But what are you guys going to do at the Slothful Tom?
Option 1, Falk,
Burn
is
it
we
down.
run. But my father didn't raise a coward.
Run fast, run hard. Don't look back.
Option 2 is we tell the truth.
Which is.
I'll back you up. I think your action was more right than the other, although not very right at all.
So
But
you,
it's better to be done with it than what was occurring.
There's an
so you
option
think I killed
3.
her, huh?
Tell Dill to talk to Adina.
Pin it on Dill. Option.
He was drunk, put the knife in his hands.
He's got a way better bluff than it
So
seems
my,
like you guys do.
My ruse didn't fool you, did it?
I wouldn't exactly call it a ruse.
More murder.
I tried to make it seem like someone broke in and killed her.
Maybe after a few more out of the left field murders, you'll be able to do that.
Just have to get a couple more under your belt, slugger.
Keep it up.
Yeah, but
All right, I killed her.
No,
She was a servant of the Dark One. We never should have had her
I
with
agree. Adina will come to see it our way, and if not, we can surely count on Choga.
us. No,
But we can't move the body, so there's no hiding it.
yeah.
throw a blanket over it.
She's gone.
Yeah. Don't know where she went. Sorry.
Window's open.
Yeah. Seems likely thing there.
So what do you think, Falk? What do you want to do?
Never been one to run away. Always faced my punishments.
Ready your weapon.
Stand behind the door. I'll stand right here.
We'll turn the lights out. I got sneak attack now.
Oh man, you go to stab Cho'Gath with the dagger and it just like bends.
Oh my God! Sorry.
That was the joke.
Joking.
You know how we stab each other. I'll stab at you, you stab at me.
Falk will stab Lalana.
Sometimes we get carried away. No
She
harm.
should have moved. I told her it was coming.
No harm, no foul,
I'm
right?
gonna do this.
Yep. And if you're still laying there by the time I get there, not my problem.
All right, so I'll take up a seat.
Okay.
Well, first I'll yell out the hall.
Murder! Murder most foul!
I'll yell for a wineskin
Okay.
to be
Oh,
delivered.
what's it? No, not fortified. The strong stuff.
Yeah, to get some courage.
Okay.
And then when it arrives, I'll sit and offer it to Falk, and I'll drink it at a measured pace.
All right. Yeah, so it's overall almost about an hour before they arrive.
How drenched in gore were we?
Well, I mean, Cho'Gath would have,
Couple
probably
splatters.
wiped down a
Yeah,
little bit,
I'll
but
wipe it off.
yeah.
Okay.
And if you're already cleaning the room with the power, you can clean your clothes with it too.
It just blended in with the rest of gore on Cho'Gath.
Yeah.
I stay pretty clean, actually.
Yeah.
I take care to clean myself off.
Yeah,
after
think
battles.
Galad with his white coat.
Well, not quite, but where I grew up, blood could pit the metal of your blades and your armor. Not like you soft Southlanders.
Other than the necklace of fingers, ears, toes, and whatnot you keep.
So yeah, you guys, by the time you get to the Tom, and the events in the common room are still going full swing. When you get up to the room,
How much of the wine have they drank?
well,
I
it's about an
really
hour,
am
so
taking. I just wanted to get.
get a buzz going.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take one drink. Just one swallow.
but there's enough left over in case we have to
Dill
smooth
stumbles
stuff
in
over
and
when Adina and
drowns the rest. looks at the body, says, "I would have done the same." Goes back to bed. No. All right.
I'll be Dill's new hero.
Yeah.
Well, Dill can probably smell it.
Yeah.
True.
As,
yeah.
he's luckily for him, he did
3
get
sheets
pretty
to the wind,
blasted. Yeah.
Oh man.
Why were you guys letting him drink?
So now we have a drunk.
That's why I was asking if they were out in the common room, because he was slipping in and out, just stealing
drunk
drinks from random
9-year-old.
things. Yeah.
And we're gonna be reeking of murder to him
Yeah.
tomorrow. Like the only one that's innocent, rape.
I maintain
He's
my
like,
innocence
I
this whole
would have
time.
expected it from you, but Falk?
Does the smell of self-defense smell different, or is it just death is or killing is killing?
I mean, killing is killing, but
I
with
remember there being a difference.
no,
like brutality level.
it's the the brutality of it. So I mean, where yours is fairly clean, right? I mean, yes, it was a crappy thing, but I mean, hacking apart bodies and things like that
Suffocating
would
people.
probably
that's
smell a
true.
bit worse.
Plugging,
So
plugging people's
yeah, I mean, you're all gonna smell. I mean, he's probably used to the smell of the death, from Cho'Gath, because he kills a lot of different things. But
He kills a lot of
well,
things.
I mean, every time that you guys get in an
Okay,
encounter with
these
something,
things
you
and
usually
those
off a few.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, whether it's wolves, trollogs,
Yep.
people,
Yeah.
anything
But,
that steps in his path.
It'll be a new scent probably from you two, newer at least. So yeah, you guys get there and you go up to the room. The doors are closed for both of the rooms. It is your choice which one you go into first, though.
Yeah, I'll just actually I'll let Cho'Gath lead the. Well,
Yeah, I'll just pick one and see if they're in it.
All right, so
1 through 2
Yeah.
is the one with
Lalana?
and,
Yep.
yeah,
what'd you get?
1.
All right, so yeah, you guys open the door, and did you do anything to cover up the body at all? All right.
No.
So you go in and you see Lalana almost as you had left her. She's still on the bed, but you notice the hole in her eye now, and she's obviously not alive.
Blood and ashes.
I'll bound to my feet and say there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for all of this.
Is there now?
Yes, well,
I'll look around. Can I see what Falk tried to do?
Yeah, I mean, you guys didn't touch anything, right? Yeah, so you see the windows cracked open. If you want to investigate it more, I'll have you do like a search or a spot. Probably.
I'll hold up my hand for silence, and I'll walk over to the window.
Okay.
So search.
Yeah.
16.
So yeah, you see there's tool markings on the outside of it and a little bit on the inside, and without having a lot of experience with breaking into windows, you could imagine that someone tried to pop it open,
All right.
right? And if you look out, it does look like someone had used some of the debris and stuff in the alleyway to come up the side.
All right. Can I get a sense motive from
Yeah,
them on like just how they're acting?
because if you guys want to hide anything, you can do a bluff, but
I'm just going to take a drink of the
yeah.
thing.
All right.
I'd only had one before now, but now I need another scene.
the mad domain.
What did you get?
So yeah, I'll turn to them, and I got a 16.
Okay. So yeah, you can definitely tell everything's not as it seems. I mean, as far as they're way too calm for her, for someone having snuck in and killed your captive.
Yeah.
Right.
You mean a
Can
stranger?
I sort of start piecing 2 to 2 together, maybe, or
Yeah, I mean, you probably can't pinpoint it was Falk until they say something about it, but you can tell that this was
an inside job?
Yeah, this is an inside job, and it looks like they're standing together on it.
It looks like you two encountered an assassin tonight as well. We were paid a visit over at the fancy inn.
Yeah, I forgot the name of it. So.
Well, I want you to know right up front.
Are you two okay?
Starts to jump up, start
cut me
checking
off
Cho'Gath. Oh, you're okay, aren't you?
Cho'Gath, you've been hurt. Because he has been stabbed twice.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. The wounds have already closed.
What was that roll for?
Just to see if
How quick you react?
Yeah.
Composure.
yeah.
Oh yes, but we should probably start making plans to leave Cairhein before about 6 or 7 days are up.
So what do I determine then?
So if
Like,
you want to look at,
see this,
yeah,
it would look to me. I'm actually pretty smart, but it would look to me like the window's open.
Yeah.
These two look the way they look because they're ashamed they dropped the ball and let
yeah,
Lana get killed on their watch, right?
but they're ready to face whatever's coming their way if something is.
Well,
Right.
I'll ask, where's Dill?
Well, before you hear anything else,
There's a perfectly reasonable explanation for this.
I want you to know that the right decision was made tonight. So,
Okay.
and Gil is in his room sleeping.
Oh, okay.
God, I hope.
I am tired.
The assassins attacked everywhere
I just
tonight.
cleaned up more blood than I ever want to see anytime soon. I'm going to go to bed, and I don't want to hear about it anymore. We need to make plans for leaving Cairhein or finding the Black Ajah very fast. And I think we have a lead. Man by the name of Mips runs a fruit stand. You two, go check it out.
Yeah, down by the Jengai gate, there's a fruit stand.
I'm going to grab Rafe and start heading down there right
He's
now.
like, no, wait, but
in the
you
middle
guys,
of the night.
you just need to hear and understand this.
All right.
When the door closes behind him, light blasted. Fools.
Well, what do you want to do about the body?
Goreball.
I mean, I could probably smuggle her out and dump her somewhere.
I think that's probably going to have to be the best course of action.
Okay.
This is a shady part of town.
Yeah.
Just put a mask on her and walk her out to an alleyway.
If you guys do check, Deal is in the next room sleeping.
Yeah. I'll
Yeah.
With the
check
smell
on
of
her.
whiskey on his breath.
Yeah.
I'll
Well, I don't get that.
untie the weaves around
Okay.
her, but I need to find a room and go to bed. I'm pretty exhausted.
There's beds in that other room if you want. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then I'll stay up and I'll take care of this body.
Okay.
Sorry, Cho'Gath.
That's okay. It won't take long. So I'll just basically, I'll roll her up in the blanket.
Put a cloak on her, put your
Yeah.
arm around her, and
Yeah, basically.
Mosey on out. Okay.
Yeah, like we just have been partying too much.
Yeah.
It's time to go home.
Snag an eye
Uh,
patch from somewhere.
Do weekend at Bernie's sort of thing.
No one stops you. You kind of people moving around in
except for
the
that
common
one guy
room.
that steals a kiss off of her and goes
Yeah.
away laughing.
Go
ahead, have another.
Some gropes through the common room. Yeah.
So cold, milady.
He shakes his head. He says, "I don't envy you."
Yeah, and once I get outside, I'll just shoulder her and
Find an alley and
go find someplace.
Okay.
Dump her.
yeah, I mean, it's
But
pretty.
did she have anything important on her?
The Adam, which I would take.
You'll take
Yeah,
okay.
we'll keep that. All right.
Yeah, because all our other possessions you guys had taken
Yeah.
back when you first got her.
Along with her dignity.
Yeah.
Right. And
That happened more throughout the journey.
yeah, so I'll go dump her somewhere, and then I think I'll take a few moments, see if I can find the moon, catch my breath, and wonder how it came to this for me.
Yeah, a borderlander dumping dead Aes Sedais in the alleyway.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, after chopping people up and watching them get rolled into a ball of goo and
Yeah.
snuffing a dude by just suffocating him.
You wonder if this
Yeah.
vacation's
No
all
honor
it,
in
Yeah.
all you thought it would be.
I'll think to myself that I'd much prefer to be fighting Trollocs and
Life is
Murdraw
simpler.
Yeah.
in the Blight. Yeah. But then I'll go back and I'll get some sleep. I'll sleep in Dill's room.
Okay. As you remember that you're still doing the creator's work because you're still snuffing dark friends.
That's true. I don't feel terrible about it. It's just not
What
as
you
glamorous.
saw when I started my military career. I didn't think this is where I'd be in 5 years.
Well, in the Borderlands, there's no gray, right?
Yeah, you're either a dark friend or you're not.
You know,
So
but down here it's a little bit different.
So does Dill vomit in his sleep, wake up, turn the pillow
Die
over,
in
and
his
then go back to sleep?
it's not you, Justin.
That was Travis, right?
Or was it?
That wasn't
Okay.
me.
That's my old move.
It was-
I was one of the ones that would crawl to the bathroom.
yeah.
Same here. And not make it.
No, he sleeps pretty soundly through the night. And-
Gave him
Was
cough
someone-
syrup.
He wakes up at 3 a.m.
Yep. There's a fresh murder all smell in the room. Yeah, so for you two, what would you guys like to do?
We're gonna go find Mitts.
Mips, okay.
Well, it was pretty late, right?
Yeah, I mean it's very early, like 3 a.m.
I'm gonna say that I'm pretty wired up.
Okay. And there's still people out, right? And you can find things to do. When you go down to do a gather information, and we'll have you guys try and find Nip's place here.
What'd you get?
I got a 16.
I got a 24.
Yeah,
How many
I ate.
points do you
Okay,
get?
26.
so it takes
Oh,
a
yeah,
little bit
once
of
you get
doing,
back,
but
it's
in
like-
short order, you can
like
find
one per
the
level.
shuttered stall that Mips uses, or
Okay,
people
yeah.
say that Mips uses to sell fruit.
If you want.
Yeah,
Okay,
6 hit
I
points.
guess we could perform a
yeah.
stakeout
I mean, I'll just...
and watch it for a little while.
you're good.
Sounds good.
We got off pretty easy, I feel like. I got a good feeling now.
Your bluff worked.
I kind of do too.
She was completely baffled by her. Bought it.
Oh, I don't think that.
I don't know, pretty high composure over here.
Yeah, but I didn't smell anything.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So
Other than fury, you've probably been smelling that from her for a while.
Actually, in the ways, what I wrote was confusion and frustration
Yeah.
every time you got to one of those waystones.
So, as morning starts to approach, instead of the streets clearing out and normal business resuming, what you start to see is more and more people filling the streets, and they are from all walks of life. Doesn't matter, rich, poor, young, old. They're all coming out, and even this early, starting to celebrate the festival that is starting today. So, let's see. Is the street before you starts to fill with revelers of all stripes, men young and old, prance about, playing flutes and fiddles. Elegant noblewomen with only flimsy cloaks to cover their bare breasts swirl around and dance with cobblers and bakers. And everywhere, enterprising hawkers ply the crowds with food, drink, and good cheer. People hang from every balcony, some pouring wine down on the celebrants below, or showering them with confetti. And as this continues, you do see the stall that was pointed out to you open up, and there is a person that is working it, trying to sell fruits.
I'm going to be unabashedly gawking and smiling at the scantily clad women.
Want to drive a knife into their eyes?
Yeah, why don't you just stab them too?
Well, I'm going to bounce back and forth between being an average 18-year-old
Yeah.
Yeah.
in a city full of half-naked women and a recent murderer.
A hardened psychopath.
Yeah.
So you're like,
So, yeah, and if you guys are unfamiliar with it, you are stunned by which the abandon that they have at this
Yeah.
point. I mean, you would never dream of that happening in Cairhein, right?
Yeah.
Or any big city.
Especially
you
not
just-
where I'm from.
Yeah.
Right? This is like got to be mind blowing for Shinar.
But I'm liking it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to matter what social class you were in, as everybody's, it seems to be on the same level in the celebration today, though.
Cairhein and Mardi Gras.
Yeah, essentially. So feel free to
What's the other
party
one?
away.
Celebrate Carnival.
Yeah.
Mardi Gras and Carnival all merged to one.
Well, we
Was,
do have a couple of hours to kill if we were to allow them rest.
Well,
Yeah.
on the even just standing off to the side of the street, I mean, people are coming up to you and laughing, offering you drinks and food and kisses and hugs, and if you'll accept it, at least.
Yeah, I think it would be hard not to after a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause, music's filling the streets from
Even
all
for
different
a
sources.
stiff-necked Terran like yourself.
Yep. Second finest city in the West. But after a while, I think we'll head back with our description of the person in the stall and that we found this supposed stall.
Okay. So, how long do you want to wait before you go talk to them?
How long did we spend tracking down the stall?
It was fairly quick. I mean, it was a lot easier to move around then than it is now.
That was like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So we'll probably just go till like 10,
Okay.
11 right before
Wait for a
noon.
while. So the area around the area around the Jenge Gate is as crowded as ever at this point, as the festival revelers mingle with travelers arriving in from the city, and the open-air shop stands like a colorful garden amid its drab neighbors, its tables and baskets overflowing with red, green, and orange fruits. Behind the counter, a wiry old man laughs with her picking out some plums.
Do you have any pears?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, that'll give us a
No, that's Flag's call sign. Smack him.
Yeah, and now you got a couple bodies along attached to it, so it's like the fresh pear murders.
Yeah.
Actually, I think every inn we've stayed at has ended up with a body being found nearby.
And it's now you got like a ball of gore attached to it too.
Yeah, that's a new
Probably
horrifying
swept up
detail.
some pears into it.
Oh, it was our.
I swear it wasn't me. Have a thief taker smell me. I swear.
How late are you guys going to sleep?
Well, the full time.
Okay.
Full 8 hours.
All right.
Well, because then, I guess I'll do 7.
Oh, I need a full rest.
Okay.
So I regain
Well,
spells or
same here.
response.
Yeah, we'll do the full rest.
Okay. As we'll come back to you guys then in just a few moments. Okay, so that's what you're faced with right now. What would you like to do?
Do we want to try to get on Adina's good side by handling this ourselves, or go back?
Yes. That'll work. I don't know if I have all the information though.
True. We just know that there's a guy named Mitz we're supposed to find.
Yeah, go find Mitz.
And we found him. And
Then what do we ask him?
honestly, I didn't sleep last night, so I'm a little bit fuzzy. And all these women around here kind of making my head swim.
Gets you all stabby.
Well,
Yeah, they might be trying to waylay you.
They best not try to waylay me.
so we'll head back
Yeah.
instead of taking matters into our own hands.
All right. So as you get back to the inn, Busk, the innkeeper, flags you down as you enter and says that a letter arrived for you guys.
Okay. I'll examine the seal.
Do a nobility and royalty check.
Dark one's on luck.
I got a 16.
I'm at a loss.
What'd you get?
Well, yeah, like we got a letter. I got a 3, or no, a 7. Sorry.
Okay.
Wait for Falk to start saying it, and then finish it.
You guys can't determine who the seal is from.
What is
or
it
who-
described as?
So
We could probably ask the innkeeper.
Must be a lesser lord. I've never seen it before. I know all the major.
it doesn't say what the seal is.
That's
It's also a different city. You
But-
probably know all the Terran nobles. But
No, I know all the.
If
major-
you do ask, he
In the West
could
Side.
tell you though.
Oh, the innkeeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he says that it's the seal of the house Analin.
And mine are.
that insult that you were doing just a second ago is going to be all over Cairhein.
Right.
It's like, I know all of the important ones.
This is a minor.
Do you want to read it?
Yeah, I'll break the seal and then pull out what kind of.
So the
kind of
letter is
paper is it
written
on?
on fine cream parchment with a delicate but shaky feminine script. And it's an invitation from Lady Guileve? I'm not sure how to pronounce that one.
Just take your pick.
Yeah, we'll call it Guileve. And it's an invitation to the Shriver's Ball at the Sun Palace on the following evening. It says that you and your companions are invited, although none of you are named. So,
Does this letter act as our invitation? The bearer?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think, Falk? Should we go?
Do I need to get my manservant clothes out again?
Of course.
Naturally.
if you guys are talking about this out loud, Busk makes a comment that it's very rare for any outsiders to be invited to the Shriver's Ball.
Well, a minor lord. Well, that makes sense. They wouldn't invite very many people. I mean, who would go to such a minor lord's gathering?
But this is at the Sun Palace.
Yeah, I don't know how they worked that one out.
Must have had some blackmail.
He shakes his head. All right. He does seem to, his demeanor towards you certainly changes, though, because he starts addressing you as my lord.
Well, should I find the time amongst all this festivity, I may appear at the name of the
Ball.
palace?
Shriver, the
Sun
Sun
Palace.
Sun Palace, yeah.
If I could even find the
That's
place.
getting back to everybody.
Rafe Gregoro may attend, if I remember. Well, shall we wake up our companions? What time is it?
It's about 11 now,
How many hours is that?
8.
so it's been about 8. Yeah.
Okay. I'll timidly knock on Cho'Gath's door if he's not awake.
mad?
I'll stab through the door.
With a high-pitched scream.
No, I'll be getting up about this time.
All right. Yeah, Deal's awake too, and he seems. He complains of not feeling well, and you hear comments about how it absolutely reeks in there. Right?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll go feel his head, see if he's got a fever. 'Cause I don't know he was drinking.
Okay.
Well, could you smell it on him?
I'll say, you don't got a
Maybe.
fever, and
Go
I'm
to
sorry
school.
about the smell. I had to kill a few people last night.
Okay. Yeah, he
I didn't really have a choice.
Discomfort still.
takes it in stride.
Now,
I understand.
go down to the kitchen and get me breakfast and a lot of it.
Okay. Yeah, he'll do as you say.
Now, what do I see? Does he look like he's hungover to me?
Yeah, like he's so.
Hangovers don't exist
Yeah.
until like mid-20s.
It's not
That's not
the
true.
same. It's not the same as like what you would think of now, right?
Yeah.
But you could definitely tell he's a little bit slow. He's
Well,
still
If
a
he
little
can,
off,
if he
right?
can stick a man with arrows, then he can have a few drinks.
Yeah.
You should have him order, unbeknownst to him, some sort of borderlander hangover
Oh,
cure.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you could tell that it's not like you've seen him after you guys have had to kill a lot of things,
Yeah.
right, and people, and this isn't the same,
Right.
right?
Well, whatever.
But yeah, he'll go down and do that.
Okay, well, I need to clean my armor before I put it back on.
He's your squire.
No,
He's supposed to clean.
it'll take him too long if he does it. And I'll shave. I need to shave my head and my face, so
Okay.
I'll be busy for a little bit taking care of those necessities.
Okay. Yeah. So that'll.
Oh, but before he leaves, I'll tell him to go ask Adina if she wants him to bring her any food.
Okay. You were gonna stay in the same room as Dill, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, he'll go over and gingerly see if you're awake,
Yeah, I'll probably be like brushing my hair or something.
So yeah, he'll ask. He says that he's gonna go get Cho'Gath some breakfast. Did you want anything?
Yes, send up some pears.
Okay. As, he says, "That's Rafe's call sign." Smack. No.
Goreball.
Yeah. So yeah, it won't take that long for him to come back up, because he's got one of the serving girls helping him bring it all up. But you guys are enjoying your meal when Rafe and Falk enter the room. As you notice that Rafe's got an even bigger head than usual at this time. And he's carrying a fine piece of parchment.
What news, friends?
We found Mips.
Mips.
Or the stall, anyways.
Okay.
And I'll give you a description of the man that was there.
Well, let's wait until Adina joins us so we can tell the story once.
Yeah, I'll, one of them knocks on the door or whatnot.
Okay.
After I'm finished getting dressed and brushing my hair out, I'll head over there.
All right.
Let's send a runner up to get her. I don't want to come up and get her.
Just send Dill.
Yeah.
Tell her we're having our breakfast in the
let's get a private room.
in a private
That'll
room.
make her happy. She likes private rooms.
So if you guys like or look at the
She was angry when she first walked in, but when
There
she
are
sat with
two-
a private room.
there are 2 private rooms, dining rooms.
Yeah.
So Dill comes up and knocks on the door and says that everybody's meeting in private dining room A.
You don't look well. Are you well?
It says that thinks it's something he ate or drank last night.
Come here. I'll delve.
Bluff.
So yeah, it was,
I got tanked.
He's
We
still
can-
stone cold.
we can
drunk.
do the bluff.
He's probably still wasted.
Huh?
Is if you want to do a sense motive.
I was just going to just
Oh,
delve
okay.
him because he looks sick, right?
Yeah,
He's
he
been
does.
playing,
Let's say his bluff was a 32, though.
Yeah.
That's
What?
how you bluff. Hey, that's his max rank.
He's like
That's
a
almost everything that
superhero.
he takes is just bluff. So
Wow.
That's not realistic.
he uses it as and he rolled a 20. So
Yeah, he's about
crazy.
right
I mean,
where
come
we
on.
are.
What did you say it was?
he got a 32.
I could see through it,
Oh,
potentially.
I see through all of it because I just assume if he's
yeah,
talking,
he
he's
assumes
lying.
he's lying.
Yeah, so I just delve him.
Okay, yeah, you can tell it's alcohol related.
I'll give him. You go down to the kitchen and you order this, and it's a Damani hangover
Okay.
one. It's nasty and it's meant to make you puke,
Yeah.
basically. And you drink it all.
He says, okay. Not knowing anything about what's about to happen to him.
And you'll feel right as rain. So they want me to go over to a private room and dine with them?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Dale.
So, there is more food down here if you needed any.
Only pears.
Yeah. as she bites into it, looking at Ray. Oh, man. All right. But yeah, go ahead and recount.
So I'll tell the tale. I'll sketch the route we took to find the stall, the people we spoke to, and then the man who eventually arrived at the stall. But more important than any of that, we got this cool invitation to the Sun Palace.
I'll reach over and...
Yeah. Do you have the nobility and royalty knowledge?
No, but I'll just read the letter.
Okay. Yeah, it's exactly that. You know, you and your companions are invited to the Shriver's Ball tonight or on tomorrow evening at such and such time in the Sun Palace.
It doesn't name us,
No.
but we registered our names at the gate.
Yes.
So this was they don't. Why would they send this to a rat hole of an inn?
Because they heard of me.
Are you still drunk?
No?
Did you get that boy drunk last night too?
No,
It's bad enough you both failed at your duties.
I stopped him from getting even more drunk.
I just watched him.
I, in fact, he had the proper amount as far as I could tell.
Yeah, made sure he didn't get out of control with it.
Yeah.
It's not like he murdered anybody.
Yes, it's not like that at all. I'll put the letter down on the table.
Okay.
Can she tell whether he's talking about her or me? When he says
just take it
murdered
as a sign of
Everybody else.
everybody.
I'm the
Yeah.
only saint in the group.
Hey, Dill didn't kill anybody last night,
true,
as far
that's
as he's
because of
aware
my-
of.
But he has really feathered some people pretty bad.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, you suspect this invitation is a trap, then?
Perhaps. I mean, like, we made a big show about going to the fancy inn.
how likely is it for us to be invited to? I mean, aside from you,
Of course. Not very likely for you guys.
why
but
would the four of us receive an invitation at this dump to go to a sun palace?
With unlisted names. With,
Yeah.
if they were... It depends on where we picked up these eyes on us right now.
Yeah, well, I think people from the Sun Palace would have the resources to find our names that we gave at the gate. So why would they want us to come here?
Well, it's possible they wanted to be the only ones in the city to have such distinguished guests. And so they concealed our identity.
Oh, because of my heron mark. That's
We would be
because of my heron mark.
the belle of the ball,
Yeah.
as they say.
Because of my heron mark. That makes sense.
All right. Perhaps we should also check the other inn for any other
Invitations there.
invitations
Yeah.
before we go pay a visit to Mips.
But if it is the trap idea, if Mips doesn't pan out, then we can always march Cho'Gath into the Sun Palace.
And let him wreak havoc on the
So
place.
let's talk about Mips. What's the play with him? Capture him and interrogate him?
Yes, I think that's probably about the best thing we can do.
Okay. Well, I just want everybody to know the plan ahead of time because I'm starting to see some sloppy behavior. We let someone sneak into the inn and kill,
Everyone
prisoner.
starts looking at their shoes.
and letting a 9-year-old get too far gone and drink. It's just sloppy behavior. It's not what I've come to expect.
Let him get too far gone.
The next time you guys fall asleep on watch, you take care of the body yourself. Because that is what happened, right? I don't say that last part.
I think I'm developing a philosophy that you always remain silent when speaking to authority.
Nod your head.
It's the best,
Yes, my lord.
It's the best way of doing things. I found.
He has some in-depth experience as a Lord's huntsman. So, you guys want to call here?
Yeah.
Okay.
guess.
Probably a good spot.
So we'll pick
Probably
up
good.
next time with the.
This has been a Death Watch production. Thank you for listening.